everybody, welcome back. Today's gonna be a crazy day. We have to get this car painted today and it is in no way ready to be painted. And the paint booth isn't ready to be used. But we're gonna do all that today and then we're gonna paint the car. I got my painting clothes on, I'm ready to go. Let's get the car ready to go. Stay tuned. This has been a wild ride so far. I gotta say, I haven't been able to live a life due to the daily videos, but I've been really enjoying this chaos, and it's been really fun. I just snuck out of a real big issue, which was getting the windshield. So today is Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, the last day that we have to get a windshield, and I didn't start making calls until just now, and most places didn't have a windshield for this car, but I found one that does, and they're gonna be here tomorrow. So I feel like I don't know, it makes these small wins that much more fun. This is why having a deadline for these things is more fun. Because if we just had a never-ending deadline, I'd be like, oh, okay, well, windshield will come when it comes. Nope, we win shield tomorrow. We need to scuff up the stock paint and sand out any orange peel that's on there. And I would like to do that before Chelsea gets here to help me out so there's not as much dust in the air. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the side mirrors, tape off all the molding so I don't accidentally hit it with the sander, which is something I've been known to do from time to time. And then I'm gonna sand up all the red paint, make sure it's ready to be painted over. Let's go. Well, this is really strange for me, and this is definitely a first, but I can't figure out how to get that side mirror off. I've looked everywhere, around it, in it, outside of it. I cannot find a bolt anywhere that connects it to the car. I even took the door panel off and searched all through here. And you know, the previous work that this guy did on the car, I've been able to see from a mile away where he started doing modifications and stuff, and I'm not seeing anything in there that looks like it's been touched by him. I've pulled the plastics back, I've went everywhere. I can't find out how to get this thing off, so it's gonna stay on the car, and we're gonna mask around it, and I'll paint around it. Luckily, it doesn't dive down too deep, so you can just basically spray your gun like right like that, and that'll catch this area in here. I was gonna paint these black, but instead, they'll just get a nice cleanup. They need a little buff up and clean up, all that'll come off, and they're gonna stay looking like that, because I don't wanna risk breaking them. They're very expensive. I think they look cool, and I'd rather just have them not broken. So, now it's time to get down to masking all the black stuff so I don't hit it with sandpaper and start sanding. Okay, I've taped off all the dangerous bits that I don't want to hit with sandpaper. The next step is we're gonna go ahead and clean the whole car with wax and grease remover. That's one thing that I learned that's very important that I wasn't doing before, is you gotta clean the whole car before you start sanding it down and then clean it up after as well. The other thing that we did is down here in the back, I added a little bit of glazing putty in some of the low spots, the pits, and we'll sand those down as we're sanding everything up. While I'm doing that, Chelsea's gonna finish masking up the back of the car here, and we gotta prep these body panels. I did talk to the body shop and they want me to paint the body panels on the car. Before, I thought I was going to take them off, paint the car and paint the body panels separately. They said because of the size of my paint booth, it'd be best to paint them all at once, all on the car. So that's what's going to happen. Start sanding. Okay, the car's been properly sanded down. I got rid of all the failed clear coat over here that was all peeling up and looking terrible. That's all been smoothed out and ready. We worked a little bit more on that backside. That's been a little bit more smoothed out. Whole car has been sanded up. So now we're gonna move on to the paint booth and start finishing up things in there. Back in the old paint booth, we have devised a list that's over there on the ground, and we've got a few things to do, and we're gonna try and get them done as fast as possible. Chelsea is gonna start on the rest of the cobwebs that Adrian didn't get. They're just about in that area, and then that's it. While she's doing that, I'm gonna cut a hole in the wall. We officially have a hole in the garage door. So that's our exhaust. This is obviously our inlet. Now there's gonna be a filter sandwich between the grate that I put on the outside of that door and the frame that I built for the fan. But we have to put that filter in after we bring the car in because that all has to come down to bring the car in. Next thing I'm gonna do is actually come over here and build a little mixing table. I need a table to be able to mix the paint and hold the paint on and stuff like that. And I think in that corner will be a nice spot that's kind of away from the car and everything else like that. As long as I don't get out past this chimney thing over here. So it's gonna be kind of tucked away in that back corner right there. All right, I've got my oddly tall table finished up. Next thing I'm gonna do is punch a hole in the wall to be able to bring the air line in from next door. I'm thinking down low, and then I'll bring it up to the dual air filters, and then basically our plug-in source will be right about here, which will be a good way to get to everywhere in the shop. That was a close call. That hose that I bought, 50 footer, didn't happen to be long enough to run to the garage, so I had to grab all the little connectors and fasteners I had, build an extension, or grab another hose that I had, use it as an extension, and make an extension so it goes air compressor to a regulator, to a hose that comes here, to these which have these, it's doubled up air filter regulators that we have right here. So, let's run next door to the shop, plug in the air compressor, and make sure we have pressure in these things. All right, we got air. Don't mind the little pinhole leak in this guy. It's really annoying, but it doesn't do anything. You can see we got pressure down there and pressure down there, and this is my shut-off point right there. And yeah, so now we have air. I brought my air hose in. Next thing we gotta do is some block-off work. So I'm gonna go ahead and block off a part in the ceiling there, a part in the ceiling there, and all the parts up there. We had a stroke of luck. So I did cardboard and staples on those two upper ones because I'm worried if I use screws, it's gonna go into the roofing tar and stuff like that and poke a hole in my roof. So to keep it waterproof, cardboard staples. Remember, the air pressure should be built up in here, so it's basically trying to escape out the top. We're just trying to limit that. But if it goes out the top, it's not a problem. So while we were doing that, then I thought I was gonna have to cut wood and place it in every single one of those. I jumped in there and found out it's all sealed up. Somebody used a spray foam sealer and stuff like that, except for 4 vents that are in there, 3 vents that are in there. So I spray foamed the vents shut. Spray foamed other things like that on the wall, up there, all around the chimney, which was really leaking. This really bizarre coffee can situation, no idea what that is, but I spray foamed it. And we sealed everything else up with spray foam. While I was up here, which we still have some ducting tape to do, I ran the power lines for the fans. Now check this out. The fans are on a remote circuit. So they're plugged in, and like that one's on number 2. I hit my button number 2, and the fans kick on. And then we kick them back off. So number 1 will be that, number 2 will be this. That way I can leave the paint booth with all the positive air pressure, and when I want, I could just turn them off from outside the paint booth. And also there's no plugging and unplugging of cords, which could be hazardous. But again, you guys just heard how much air is gonna be moving through here. I think we'll be okay. That's basically a wrap on this first round of construction. I got a board to put up there, and then we have to clean. So we're gonna get it all clean and ready for the car to come in. All right, the paint booth is ready for action. It's starting to look a lot more like a paint booth. It's all clean, it's all ready for the car. Let's go get the car ready to get in here. All right guys, very sadly, I just realized something. We're out of time. We're out of time. It's 1 a.m. right now, it's past 1 a.m. I broke everything down into a time schedule. How long it take to get the car into the shop, get it cleaned, get the primer on there, get the base coat on there, get the clear coat on there. By the time I finished, it would be 2 hours away from when I need to wake up to start editing this episode to get ready for work tomorrow. So there's really no point. It would either be stay up extremely late tonight and not waste tonight and paint tonight, but then waste tomorrow, or actually get some good sleep and then paint tomorrow. Considering how expensive this paint is, I'm gonna err on the later. I mean, it's 1 a.m. I put in a full day's work. I should feel good about it, but I don't, because I really I set a goal to be painting today, and I didn't get there. But I think this is the smart move. Sometimes you just gotta know when to quit. Given that our schedule though, this takes 1 day out of the, what's the next thing that we have to do? The final assembly. I had 3 days for final assembly. That's gonna cut it down to 2, but I don't think that that's that big of a problem, because for final assembly, I can really work my ass off with just like, you know, fitting body panels, doing engine mods, redoing the interior, that type of stuff. I'm okay with doing on little sleep. The actual art of painting, like painting, don't get it wrong, it is an art. It's not a science. It's not easy. Would be better to do with the clear brain. So that's right, art with clear brain, science. You can just do anytime you want. Clearly my brain's not very clear anymore anyways. All right guys, so I'm sorry, I apologize. I know I said we would be painting, but we will paint tomorrow. I 100% promise that. That's about it. Thanks, huge thanks to our sponsor, JDM Buyer. That's the place you go to if you want to import awesome JDM parts from Japan. You actually buy them from Japan and ship them over here. And if you want to buy a whole damn car, head over to their partner company, RB Motoring. Both the links are in the description. If you guys want to subscribe to this channel, I advise you to do that. Hit the little thing on the thing. And if you want to follow some more places, find us on Instagram. We're BS for Build on there. Always posting stuff every day. And then there's something else. Oh, please like this video. Let's see how that goes. Normally I'll see you guys tomorrow when we paint. Peace!